next group of individuals are in recognition of outstanding contributions to Willowbrook High School. All of them are teachers and a counselor. Before I go any further, I want to take this opportunity to thank those teachers, myself, that led me to become a better teacher at Willowbrook. Virginia Rydell, Al Lowe, and as I look around the room, those that I'm going to introduce have certainly set the example of excellence, not only as their teaching, but teaching of others as we become Willowbrook graduates ourselves. First teacher to be recognized, Ralph J. Amelio, 1961 to 1997. Ralph graduated from Loyola University of Chicago with a Bachelor of Science in Humanities and English in 1961 and a Master of Arts in English in 1964. He has studied film at DePaul University, Loyola University, and the University of Chicago, as well as Northwestern University in Evanston. He received a fellowship in film study at Hampshire College in Massachusetts in 1971. He attended Institute on the American Screen Experience at the University of Illinois Chicago campus in 1973. He was also a recipient of the Award for Educational Excellence as Outstanding Teacher in 1977 from the State Board of Education, Illinois Office of Education, one of only 2 high school teachers in the U.S. He was awarded scholarship from the Directors Guild of American for Directors Guild in Hollywood internship at University of California, Los Angeles in 1978. He is listed in the International Authors of Writers of Who's Who in the 8th and 9th edition of Cambridge, London. Nominated to Academy of Educators of the Foundation for Excellence in Teaching in December 1986. Nominated by staff and students of Willowbrook High School for the Cole International Prize for Exemplary Teaching in 1988. Willowbrook Film Program selected as only exemplary high school program and a model in report in a film study in American schools. The American Film Institute selected Willowbrook High School as this model, and for 3 years as the AFI faculty development courses were held at Willowbrook during the summer, and it was attended by high school and college teachers from all over the U.S., and all of these were taught by Ralph Amelio. Film professor Dr. William Consto, in his NCTE book, Reading the Movies in 1992, calls this course one of the most innovative and enduring programs of film study in secondary schools. He was on the Film Advisory Selection Committee for the American Library Association in 1971 and 72, and has worked in films incorporated in Northwestern University Department of Radio and Television and Film in the Film Extract program. He was a member of the National Council of Teachers of English Committee on Film Study in the Language Arts, and a member of the NCT Commission on Media in 1983 through 1986. He has countless publications, countless articles, workshops, and lecturers. In the following words best describe Ralph: presenter and lecturer, selected panelist, appointed chairperson, featured guest, jury and judger, consultant, guest, chairperson, lecturer, and coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, Ralph Amelio.
No wonder I feel old. Just a few notes. I've taught at Willowbrook for 37 years, almost 10,000 students. Since the first year of the cinema class in 1968, used over 60 films a year, 35 features, 25 shorts. It is with pride that I recall the many precious moments during those years. I remember a number of students who graduated. I touched Ted Sturtevant's name on the wall in Vietnam in Washington, D.C. I sat in the cockpit of Scott Cameron's B-1 bomber at O'Hare. I read novelist Dean Monte's first novel. 10 years ago at Willowbrook, at a Willowbrook breakfast for 2 cinema members of the Distinguished Hall of Fame, Robert Falls, Artistic Director of the Goodman Theater, and Dr. Richard Nishimura, Head of the Cardiology Department at Mayo Clinic. I recall suggesting the Sandy Nelson drum solo for the first of many animated films, Clay, of Tony Venezia, who's here tonight, who's now head of the animation department at College of DuPage. And also the creative direction of his sister Debbie, who originated the film series at the Tivoli Theater, and who of all people, Mike, the youngest of the Venezia family, doing creative work in television right now at both coasts, New York and LA. I celebrate the nonprofit work of dermatologist Dr. Michelle Bardek in the Southwest. Also the 2 musicians, Tom Higgenson and Dave Theriot, for the Playing White Tees rock band. I'm proud of the fact that Larry Kenyon is one of the co-creators of Apple Computers, and many more. I would like to thank my family, my mom and dad, who raised me on films at the Harrison Theater in the west side of Chicago. For my mother, who would call me at midnight after WGN presented films, The Scarlet Empress, Russian Nobility, and I joke with her on the phone, Mom, let me talk to you about Russian nobility, about the Russian Tsar and his wife, the Tsarina, and their kids, the Tsardines. Thanks to my 2 children, Ralph, Victoria, who criticized my films even when I showed King Kong on their birthday parties, enhanced with bananas. And of course my wife Dorothy, who not only previewed all the films, but edited and typed my 4 books. Thanks especially to my co-teachers in the film team, Anita Owens, passed away, Susan Geary, who's still around, Dave Knipper, who also still around, and of course, most especially, John Mustachio, whose creativity, intelligence, and especially sense of humor not only sustained me, but enhanced my life. Especially in the 100 years of Cubs futility. I needed that. And also to those who are continuing the course, Vicki Edwards and Mike Sullivan, who are here tonight. But the precious moments also include some serious and some humorous incidents, as follows. The time when a young girl from my class, who after seeing the documentary Night and Fog about the victims of the Nazi concentration camps, confronted me by saying that the film was not true. And I asked her, well, how do you know? And she replied, my father said so. He was a guard at the camps. I didn't know what to say. The next day, another male student, after seeing the film, hands me a shoebox full of black and white 3x5 photographs of camp victims, survivors, dead and alive, that his father witnessed when he liberated the camps in 1945. On the humorous side, another year, a foreign exchange student from Sweden was taking a written test, and she asked the meaning of the word incest. I told her, I says, when you put money in the bank, and after a certain amount of time, you get incest. She looked puzzled at me and continued the test. A few minutes later, she asked Mr. Mustachi, the co-teacher, the same question. And he tells us the exact same answer. She still passed the test. Another time, when after viewing Invasion of the Body Snatchers, our co-teacher Dave Knipper from the art department created a giant green pea pod similar to those in the film. And we put it in our film closet. After the film, I asked this female student to retrieve a film can from the closet. She opened the door and screamed bloody murder. You have to picture this next scene. You can visualize this, I'm sure. When our 400-pound football tackle just before a Willowbrook playoff game on Saturday, hoisted up Mr. Mustache by his collar, and Mr. Mustache's dangling like this, and he says, "What's this about a D grade?" I was hiding behind the projector. I said, "I don't know anything about it." Mr. Mustache insisted that he was only joking, and he believed it. After viewing the gangster film Bonnie and Clyde, a scene in which Clyde Barrow is unable to perform sexually with Bonnie Parker, a student asked the meaning of the word impotence. In the sincere interest of her education, I told her to check the huge Webster's Dictionary in the corner of the room, which she did, and exclaimed that Mr. Mustache's picture was above the word. I don't know who put the picture there. One of the nicest letters I received was from a parent of a student in my cinema class in 1983, and I'd just like to quote from part of it. It was written to the principal and then forwarded it to me. "Dear Principal, I wish to express my appreciation and great admiration for one of the classes my son is participating in, and more specifically for the teacher of that class. The subject I'm referring to is cinema. Without a doubt, he has not only enjoyed that class more than any other he has taken, but more importantly, he has expanded what he has learned into many other areas of education and development of his own philosophy and values. There are many instances I could enumerate upon, but as an example, I'll relate one typical instance. He had just seen the Japanese film The Seventh Samurai in class when Shogun was being shown on television. Throughout the course of the show, we were treated to a running commentary on the history and purpose of the samurai, as well as an enlightening revelation as to my son's personal thoughts and evaluations of the reasons for the Japanese value system in those times. He has related what he has learned in this class to everything from Civil War times and lifestyles to World War II and the reasons for the Holocaust, through general evaluation of why everybody doesn't have the same values as everyone else. In short, this one class, and the way it has been presented, has offered history, geography, philosophy, psychology, sociology, and just plain enjoyment to my son. For that, I'm most grateful and highly recommend this continuation and expansion of this course. My folks would like that.